About 8:47, and it's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, 101.1 FM. Our conversation with Lisa Spencer from the Indiana County Department of Human Services, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. It's good to have you with us here today. I don't know that you're involved in this in any way, but that whooping cough declaration by the state is pretty serious stuff. So there's a whooping cough clinic that is going to be happening tomorrow in Indiana County.
I'm not part of it, but I did. We were over at ICTC working out some veterans, like interviewing and stuff. And when the first notifications came out, and I almost had a heart attack because I was like, wait, like I don't need to be here. But that was because it had gone around the schools. Mm-hmm. And so that's not something to play around with. No. One of my friends, I think the one boy had gotten it, her one son, but then I think he passed it to the other son. And he coughed so hard, he broke blood vessels in his eyes, and it was like he had black eyes. I mean, that's not to play around with. So make sure everybody's taking care of that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So Department of Human Services is involved in so many different things. I thought you might have a little bit of insight on that.
Yes, I was out of town yesterday for training, so I didn't get to send you my little, what can we talk about today?
Yeah.
so I'll give you three different things. Feeling. Yeah, we have three different things. First of all, I know we've been kind of blitzing the airways about this Trees for Troops. I know we've had a lot of exposure on this, but it's just something very near and dear to our hearts because, especially at this time of year with our active duty soldiers and the ones who are deployed, I'm in that category. My son's still deployed. And so this Saturday on the 7th from 9 to 5 out at Matriciak's Family Christmas Tree Farm. Thank you. Who have taken over for the Fleming's Christmas Tree Farm. So we want to make sure we keep that going. So, everybody knows that this was, now it's Matriciak's.
Same location, different name.
Yes. And it's such a fun day. Mm-hmm. And so Diane and I and Kevin, we will all be out there bright and early, 7 o'clock. And getting everything ready. So it actually goes from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And I think this is a really good weekend for this because Thanksgiving was so late last week. Yeah. And so now people are starting to get their trees, but I think it's supposed to be nice weather.
Mostly sunny and 36.
Yes, I think this will be so exciting. So Diane and I will be there till around noon. So we're hoping that we get to see a lot of activity out there. Yeah. So if you donate $30, then that will take one of the trees on the lot and they'll put it on a big giant truck. And that's how they'll get the trees moved. And that will take care of one tree. If you can't afford $30, though, they're going to try to have a little donation container by the concession stand. So maybe if you can just do a few dollars or $5 or $10, you can still put it in. Yeah. And we'll put all that money together. All the money from the concession stand and all the money in the container that they raise will all go back into buying trees for troops. So everything goes to this cause. And it's one of my favorites because I love my veterans and I love my active duty, and all of our soldiers. So
that's Saturday.
That's Saturday. And then on Monday night, this is kind of a neat thing. Diane and I, and actually another person from our Veterans Providers Group, Dave Padel, the three of us had gone down to Delmont, and we went to go see a Veteran X program. And it's like a support group for veterans run very rigidly, just like with the military. And and it's just like they do things like go through scenarios or different things so that people can relate to it, to have that support to say, oh, that's what I'm going through now. So they know where to get the help. And we're really trying hard to get one in Indiana County. So on Monday night, the three of us, and I think a couple more people are coming with us, we're going to go over to Butler and we're going to see theirs because they have one that has 60 people strong that show up every week.
Wow.
And I can tell you just from when we were in Delmont, we didn't have as big of a crowd, but just having the veterans there when they recite that Veterans Creed, I had chills all over. I did. Well, I got a little emotional too, but well, that's an age thing.
I'm shocked.
I know that's just an age thing, but you get so in the moment, and it's so touching, and so the whole experience was really neat to see. But I can't wait till Monday night. So I think it starts at 6:00, but so we'll be getting on the road and heading over to Butler, but. If we could get one of these in Indiana, then we wouldn't have to have people drive so far.
Yeah.
And it's one night a week. And so that's our goal. So
And I would assume that they get different speakers and
yeah, well, it's actually veteran run.
Oh,
so
okay.
the veterans run it, and I love that idea. And it's just veterans helping veterans. And then of course like I could go because anyone who's related to the military, like I'm a mother, or a spouse could go. Anybody who has an affiliation with the military is allowed to sit in on the meetings. And so it's going to be, I can't wait till Monday night. I can't wait to tell you.
there you go.
Because
do
they
come
say
back
it's
and tell us
something.
about it.
Yeah, they say it's really something because Dawn has been working really hard through our Veterans Provider Group to really see if she can get one of these veteran X groups in, Indiana, Armstrong to connect like Westmoreland and all the way over to Butler. So can we do that?
Yeah.
It's kind of a mission. So it's pretty exciting, and I can't wait to tell you about that one. So that's
can't
coming
wait.
up Monday.
Can't wait to hear it. So what's the third thing?
Yeah, so then we're going to switch gears on you because this is something that we are mandated to do every year, annually.
I know what it is.
And yes, and the entire nation has to do it. Every county and every state has to do their point in time count. And so ours is January 2nd on Wednesday
early.
night. January 22nd.
Oh, 22nd.
22nd.
Okay.
On Wednesday night into Thursday. And so we're going to be out trying to, Sheriff Fyock and I, always drive around to certain places. The first thing we do is send out to so many, to police departments, to municipalities, to fire departments, to churches, and we always ask, give us some ideas of where to look. Have you seen anybody that may be, camping, or where can the sheriff and I kind of go out that night?
Yeah, you're looking for homeless people. We should
Yes,
explain.
people experiencing homelessness who are in need of help. And so then we just do like a short little survey that we need to do, and then we'll see if we can get them over to the shelter.
Yeah.
And the shelter at this time of the year, so it's 13 beds or 12 or 13, but we can put extra cots in there in case we need to, because of course we want everyone to stay warm and dry.
In the dead of winter, especially.
Yes, and it gets cold out there. And I can tell you last year when we were driving around, it was cold, and it was like that sleety rain.
Yeah.
So that would have been a terrible night to have to stay outside.
Now, last year when you did it, you also incorporated the Soup for Souls up at the mall.
Yes, that
You
was
gonna be
so
able to do that again
exciting.
this year,
Yeah.
or no?
Well, what we're going to try to do, we haven't really had a chance to talk with her because I think our meeting's coming up next week. And what we'd love to try to do, instead of that evening, we'd love to try to do it the day after. So it's like during the day, because then we might get anyone who is staying in their cars, because we've heard people are staying in their cars at Walmart. And, maybe they would just come on up and, if we can figure out how to get them something to eat, and then they had have a chance to talk to the ICAP staff members. So I think maybe that might work this time. So we're going to try it, because last year we had 3 people walk in, and we were really excited about that. And because it's really difficult in our county to find people, because they're not on the street, because we don't have that. And we don't have the availability or the manpower to go out and search all the woods. We can't do that.
The
That's
cliche
too much.
is somebody sleeping under a bridge, but that's not the definition of a homeless person.
We just don't see that here. And so, but it could be anybody in an abandoned building. I mean, it surprises people, but they talk about chicken coops because they're warm. They talk about old barns and different places that, a tent or even a camper that doesn't have access to heat heating and water and things like that.
Or somebody that's sleeping on a friend's couch for a couple of nights.
Yeah, that's a little trickier because HUD doesn't consider that. They don't take that into the definition, but it works for the youth. So we can take it for the youth when we try to do like the youth count, but we're going to have a special youth count, I believe, in April. So they're going to try to do a different thing for the youth count in April. So we're just going to do this again and see how we do, but it's mandatory for every county across the United States of America.
How about that? Wow. All right. We're 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. We will, I'm sure, talk much more about that in your January visit.
Yes. Well, I might have to tag team with Kathy, but maybe I could have Maureen come with her.
There you go. Well, when this veterans thing that you're talking about, the Veterans Acts, when you have that meeting next week, if you want to come back before the end of December and talk about it a little bit more, tell us what you found out.
Oh, man, yeah, we could do that. Yeah. We could do that.
And set it up with whoever you want, and we'll get you back in here to talk about it.
I would love that.
Right.
I would love that because that is it's just a really, really good thing to have offered in our county.
You betcha.
So,
all right.
All right.
She's Lisa Spencer
Thanks so much.
My pleasure, from the Indiana County Department of Human Services.